Low
Wow.
key. We
I didn't
go
know
back.
that.
So shout out to Afion, man. But yeah, I did the hustle. We did, like I said, for any actor out there, don't be discouraged. Low key, that was a prerequisite for me doing Ballers. Like all the camera stuff that I was supposed to learn, I learned it doing that small TV show called The Hustle. Like just learn how to play, as you know, as an actor, learn how to play in the frame and learn how to just work that stuff in your eyes.
I haven't learned that yet because usually I'm on frame like this talking. They're like, Justin, get in. I'm like, huh? What? They're like, Justin, can you get? I'm like, where you want me at, nigga? I mean, I'm in the frame. I don't know what the fuck. Man, I'm out of here, nigga. So I'm still working on that.
I'm trying to spray.
A shout out to Afion, man. He was the first comedian to actually take me on tour. When he got back doing stand-up comedy, he saw me performing at the Ha Ha Comedy Club, and he was the first like major headlining comedian that left for him on the road. Which actually gets me to you real quick. You used to feature for Chris Tucker, which is huge. How that came about?
Dude, I was at the Improv, Hollywood Improv, and I was supporting Brandon Lewis. Brandon Lewis, this was going to be his first night performing at the Hollywood Improv.
Wow.
And I try to be solid and support because I know what that feels like when you want your niggas in the room.
Was it D-Ray night?
D-Ray's night, Monday night.
Let's set this up because people don't know. D-Ray night is probably the hardest night of comedy in Hollywood. It's a very urban.
It ain't no. Because people don't understand is that everybody that shows up on that Monday night at the Improv are regulars, so they come to see. First of all, they come to see D-Ray.
Straight up.
That's the first thing. He got a full-on following. It ain't no joke. So I said, let me go support Brandon Lewis.
D-Ray's following are all dime pieces. That's what his following is. Hood niggas and dime pieces. All right.
That's what he brings out. So I went to support Brandon Lewis. And I'm still not low-key, but I'm not the hangout kind of dude. So I went to support Brandon Lewis. And Spike, the runner of that particular night, he said, man, I was about to leave the club. He said, man, listen, you always leaving. You should hang out. I was like, no, man, I don't want to hang out like that. He said, no, man, he said, Chris Tucker here. And low key, maybe like a year ago, HP, Brandon Lewis, Chinadu, and Chris Tucker has showed up. He did a set at the Savoy in Inglewood in 2010. And I remember I was at the crib and somebody said, I forgot, maybe it was Brandon. He said, yo, Chris Tucker at the Savoy. So me, HP, Chinadu, Brandon, whoever else, we slid through at the Savoy to watch Chris Tucker do a set. I got my photo with Chris. As far as the comedian groupie pick, I was like, all right, I got my picture with Chris Tucker in front of the club. I met him. So then he showed up at the Improv that same night that Brandon performed. And Spike was just like, listen, man, you need to hang out. You need to watch your set. I said, man, I already met him. I'm not really the groupie type of dude. I'm good. I'm about to head to the crib. He said, man, you always leaving. You should hang out. I tried to leave that club 3 times. I said, okay, no problem. Spike, the runner of the club that night, he says, come to the inside of the club. I go into the inside of the club, pause, and then D-Ray comes up to me and says, hey, has Chris Tucker seen your set? I said, no. He said, man, you should let him see your set, man. Does he know that you don't do his voice, whatever? I was like, no, I met him already. He's like, no. Chris Tucker's on stage. D-Ray says, hey, man, he yelled out like in a random audience member. He was like something like, he said, hey man, one of your fans is out here, something like that. And Chris Tucker was up there, and D-Ray was like, yo, have you seen London? Chris was like, no. D-Ray grabs me by the arm, and he pushed me on stage. I stumbled on stage, in fact, because he pushed me up there. And
D-Ray strong.
Chris, yeah, absolutely. Light skin strong.
Right.
So
light skin strong.
Light skin strong.
He can't move a couch, but he can move a pillow. I get the pillows, y'all. I'm joking. Don't come for me.
You see that AO energy I be talking about, y'all? Now you get to see it in its finest. So I go on stage, I stumble up there, I did whatever my 5 minutes was. I ain't really had no material in 2010. I do my Denzel something, I do my Chris Tucker voice, and then we exchange numbers after the club. After my set. He said, man, that was cool, man. Let me get your number. Boom, boom, boom. He hit me. I think I was out of, my sister got married that year, I think. And so he hit me just like, yo, man, I might have a couple dates for you. I was like, all right, bet. And I got picked up and we ended up touring for like 2010 to like 3 years.
Wow.
I toured as an opener, and God is good, man. That helped me pay some bills, man. I was working at after school program, and that got me through. So major shout out to Chris Tucker. That nigga didn't have to look out for me, man. That got me through, man.
Shout out to Chris Tucker. I'm thankful. If he didn't do Rush Hour, I wouldn't got my foot in the door.
I'm not with you. I'm not gonna do it.
Come on, man. What did you learn being on tour with him? Was there any gems he gave you, any piece of advice or anything? Or?
Dude, first of all, again, make shout out to Chris Tucker because he didn't have to do it. But what more than anything I could have gotten on stage, what it did was it showed me, it said, look, what I told myself was, not if, but when I got into that position, I'm going to try to look out for cats. And that's why I brought Brandon Lewis on the road. I don't want to make it sound like I'm some nigga, but
the headline is gonna be London thinks he's better than Chris Tucker.
Right? Something crazy.
Right.
In all humility, I said, man, if I ever get into a position that I can headline, I want to look out for my guy. And Brandon Lewis was one of those dudes. We had did open mics together. I knew him, and whatever I could do to help him out, I said, when I get in that position, I want to make sure that wherever I stay in the hotel, he stay. I want to stay in the 5-star, and then he down the street somewhere. No, even if that meant cutting my bread short, so that, because sometimes I've done some shows and the club or whatever it was a mix-up. They didn't know he was coming to pause. They didn't know he was going to be performing with me or whatever. No, listen. Hey, right here you go, Brandon. I'm add a little extra to whatever the club fee is. But your question, the main thing that I got from that was, when I got into a Chris Tucker position, make sure that I did the same thing for my niggas, for my guys. And if that meant it meant anybody in the city, like I remember one time you got to use in Atlanta one time.
That's where I'm at right now.
Dope, man. If that meant getting some other stage, I mean, I don't run the club. I don't run none of that stuff. But if that means, hey, cut my time down, let my guy perform, or let such and such perform, because I know what that feels like. Make shout out to Tony Rock. Tony Rock, my first time performing at the Improv, I drove out just to see, I think it was Ocean, Tony Rock was touring something together.
Mm-hmm.
And Tony Rock, he don't even know. I have told him, he does know. But Tony Rock was just like, listen, you want to do some time? I was like, thank you, man. I got my first standing O. I think Tony, shout out to Tony Baker. Tony Baker was the first nigga to tell me that I had a stand-up, that I got standing O. I didn't even know what a standing O was. I was just a nigga goofy and performing and doing the voice. And Tony tweeted, and he was like, yo, man, London Brown got a standing O. But shout out to Tony Rock, because now, this is what Tony Rock did. Tony Rock let me do a whatever 5 minutes, 7 minutes set before the show. And then after his set, he said, do you got some more time? I was like, yeah, I got some more time. The nigga invited me back up on to tell some jokes at the end of the nigga set.
Ooh, that's the kind
one. And I told Tom, I was like, yo, he said, man, I understand when comedians come out to a show, they want to get up. I mean, they come in to support. But he said, I know what that's like. I know that niggas want to get up and perform. Major shout out to the Chris Tuckers and to the Tony Rocks, to the Oceans and different people and Afions and cats that's cool enough to let you say, yo, I'm gonna give you a little shine. Regardless if it's a little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, cats ain't gotta do that. I know what that's why in my heart, it's important that I always try to be thorough in that way and say, let me look out for and again, I'm not trying to say that I put Brandon on, nothing like that. But I'm saying in a sense that if my niggas at the show, yo, please do some time. That's the least I can do is come down for, where that means Brandon Phillips. I remember one time I talked to Enz Mitchell to get him at the Comedy Union. That's the least niggas can do is be like, yo, my man is funny. Give him some time. So I'm very grateful for that, man. So I ain't got nothing. But mind you, though, Chris Tucker, there were some times. This nigga, look at this. Let me give you cool. Chris Tucker would fly first class, right? He would fly first class. Let me give you. This is how he would be. This nigga had his bag, right? He had his bag and his glasses, right? Mind you, me, security guard, we an assistant coach. Nigga, we in the back. Chris Tucker come in. He come in. We've been in the assistant coach, so we ain't no room back there. Knees busted up.
Hold on. Put it so we can see your face. I can't see your face.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah. Oh, that's the director in me.
No, so Chris, right? My fault. So Chris would be the nigga. He be well rested. This nigga was well rested
in the first class seats.
First class seats. And he up there. I ain't gonna do the voice accurate, but this how it be. Man, you guys look tired, man. You guys should. We like, nigga, you been in first class. You good. We in the bathrooms.
Hey, wait a minute. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want my assistant leader to know that you will also be in the bathrooms. When we flying, I will be in first class. Your ass will be in coach for now. And then when I get my paper up.
Right. When you get your paper up, I wasn't mad. But the thing about it was Chris was, he be complaining about how tired we look. This nigga was in first class. I'm like, yo, Chris. There have been times where they would lock me in the car. Security guard would take Chris, rush him into the theater. I was in the back, low key. They didn't even know I even existed in the car. No shade. It's all good. I'm very grateful for the opportunity. But I'm saying that people don't understand that we do pay dues. It's a grind. People think that you just land on MacGyver and you just, I'm right. Like, no, they don't even, not to go into this too much, but people don't understand that when we audition, we are auditioning against thousands of people.
Absolutely.
Nigga, East Coast, West Coast, niggas from Atlanta sending tapes in, niggas from Vegas sending tapes in. It's a process that should respect it. So I don't knock nobody. Like I said, again, make sure that Chris Tucker for even give me an opportunity to tour with him. You know what I mean? And going back to your question, not to deviate, but that's one thing I said, man. I told myself when I'm in that position, I want to definitely make sure that I look out in whatever way I can do that. You know what I mean? Because I understand what that feels like to be an opener. When I used to, I remember coming out doing 30 minutes, and the whole thing too, you don't want to step on your headliner's material. So I had to. He used to tell me, don't talk about this, that, and this. I said, okay. I remember at one point I was doing.
Chris Tucker was like, don't talk about Michael Jackson. Don't talk about Michael Jackson. Don't talk about Michael Jackson. I'm
out of here.
Hey man, shout out to Chris Tucker. Hey, this is real deal. This is real deal facts. Yeah. No lie. The reason I started really thinking of comedy as a career was seeing Chris Tucker when I was 10 years old in the movie Friday. I had never seen anything or anybody funnier in my life. And I was like, yo, I want to do that. I was like, I need to do that after seeing Chris Tucker. And then I was going to college up here in Atlanta, Clark Atlanta University, CAU 8.
Boom.
I bought tickets to see Chris Tucker by myself. I ain't even buy nobody else ticket. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had no money back then. I just bought a ticket to see Chris Tucker. I go to see Chris Tucker at the Fox Theater. This is probably 2002, 2003. This dude did 2 hours straight. He only took 1 sip of water. And I'm talking about murdering. Murdering for 2 hours, bro. And I said, that's the type of comedian I want to be. So shout out to Chris. And then I did Rush Hour. but man, so huge shout out to Chris Tucker. I was just talking mess, but huge shout out to Chris Tucker.
I agree. I remember one of my cousins told me about Friday. This before Chris Tucker, I didn't watch Death Jam because I didn't have no cable growing up, none of that. And I saw Friday, and I was like, okay, what? It was just a funny. The nigga just killed it. And then, I remember, like again, watching Rush Hour and different things. I was like,